You're an educational content creator and you've gone ahead and started a business on Skool because it was pitched to you as being easy to do. But now you're spending 40 plus hours a week delivering inside of your Skool community instead of actually marketing it, which is the thing that allows your Skool community to grow in the first place. So a bit of a conundrum here, essentially. And you know that on some level, if this continues on a long enough time frame, that inevitably your Skool community's growth will plateau. And the honest but kind of hard to swallow pill here is that you didn't build yourself a self-sustaining business on Skool. You built yourself a job that now has a revenue cap because you don't have the time freed up to market this group more than you have right now. As the saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You may have wanted to have a excellent grand slam offer for your community so as to have as many people as possible in your niche join it because it's just such a good offer for a Skool community. But the trade-off is that now you have this premium offer that you have to deliver on. And for a lot of Skool entrepreneurs, you're starting this off solo. So you don't have any help. So you're all of a sudden the marketing guy and then also the person who delivers within. You're also doing the administrative work, the managing, the moderation, the setting up of the calls, the hosting of the calls, etc. And so it's absolutely no knock on you for trying to provide an absolutely brilliant experience for your members. But you have to understand that that has a trade-off, and that trade-off is your time. Not only your time, but also your mental bandwidth. And so it becomes not only this time cost in terms of you actually having to service these members, but it also becomes this mental bandwidth cost of you thinking about these members. If you have some kind of premium offer where you're coaching people, all of a sudden all you're doing is thinking about, how to coach certain members and things like that. And that just takes up time and mental bandwidth and really harms the marketing in the process. The marketing, which is the pillar that actually gets your group to grow and make more money in the first place. So you might be watching this right now and you might actually be in the trenches of what I've described, working full-time work week hours, struggling to make content to even grow the group, but also trying to deliver on the promises that you made in the group so that members stay and continue to pay you money month by month or year by year. So I'm telling you, there are Skool community group owners out there who can step away from their business for hours, days, weeks even at times, which I've experienced firsthand, and the community will not suffer in the slightest. Sometimes it even gets better when they're away. And so the good news is you can actually get to that point. And in this video, I'll explain to you how. We need to diagnose why it is that you ended up in this situation to begin with. And there are 5 reasons behind this. The first one being that you didn't even know that this was a thing you had to do. Because look at it this way, a vast amount of Skool community owners are first-time business owners on Skool. They have not run a business prior to this. And if you're a content creator, an educational content creator, the many years of experience that you have is just making content on, YouTube, whatever platform it is that you make content on. It's not managing a subscription-based business. That's not where your expertise or experience lies. And you have to understand that making educational content is not the same as running a subscription-based business. That is a completely different animal. And so a lot of Skool community owners jump into making these schools under the pretense that making a school and running a school is easy, which it can be, but they don't understand the difficulties of running a school. And that's not on them. I mean, Skool has to do their thing. They have to market their business, which is the getting people to start Skool communities and getting people to join them. And so they want to make this process seem seamless and effortless and easy, which again I do think it can be if you do it the right way. But of course, they're not going to communicate to you the difficulties of setting up and running a Skool community. So you just don't know that going into it. The second reason is that you just don't know how to take the next step. You don't know what those next steps are. And that's excellent. I mean, that's why you're here watching this channel. But one caveat is that while this channel can teach you the tactics, it's not going to transfer you the years of experience that, I have on the platform. That is something that you yourself need to go out there, implement these tactics, get these feedback loops based on your personalized Skool community situation, and then and only then do you gain any kind of experience whatsoever. So as much as I appreciate you sticking around and watching the channel and learning some things and implementing the tactics here, just understand that it takes years to get really good at running a school, understanding the mechanics of Skool, really getting a pulse on what makes a school group work and what doesn't, what to do and what not to do. I'm assuming that you're at this point right now in your school group where you are making money. The problem is you aren't freeing up your time. This is when you need to start outsourcing work. So in terms of like having someone, do the admin stuff, the moderation stuff, handling refunds, handling support, those kinds of things that don't actually necessitate your direct input, but that you're spending lots of time on. And so I can't stress this enough. If you're already making good money with your school group, especially if you're making somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 monthly recurring revenue plus, then you absolutely need to start outsourcing. That is the only way that you're going to buy back your time. Yes, you can learn tactics from this channel, but again, it's that experience that takes months and years to develop. And so if you want to save months and years of trouble and free up your time to actually market and make more money from your group, then absolutely 100% outsource. And to be clear, starting off, you don't need to outsource to people. You can get started by just having like built-in automations, using AI, that kind of thing. There's all sorts of plays that can happen. I won't delve into that because that's not the point of this video, like the specific tactics of like automating a school, but it is within the realm of possibility for certain things. That said, automation and using AI for the purposes of running a school community business aren't going to be helpful for features that involve FaceTime. So when it comes to hosting group calls, onboarding calls, or even just messaging people on a human-to-human level, AI automations, that's not really going to do the heavy lifting there. That's where you're really going to want to outsource to a person. Because at the end of the day, like this is the community business. Community is human, it's human-to-human, it's peer-to-peer. People don't want to engage with AI slop. They want to engage with people. The third reason is that you just didn't know when to do this, right? You didn't know when to get help, right? And so you knew going into the school community business that eventually you would need to outsource and get support, but you just didn't know when. And by the time you needed to do it, it was too late and your hands are already tied marketing and also delivering within the school community, right? And so you feel trapped at this point. So if the third reason resonates with you, that you knew eventually you would have to outsource, but you just put it off and now you're at the point where you need to outsource, but it's too late, you're burning the candle on both ends, juggling marketing and delivering inside of your school group, then you need to outsource right now because it's only going to get worse. Either you're going to have to stop marketing altogether, in which case no new members join, or you continue to do marketing to the best of your abilities at the expense of marketing itself, because the more you market, the more people show up and the less you can market. So at some point, marketing just ends, right? And then you don't make any more money. The fourth reason is there's just some kind of circumstance making it so that you cannot outsource. Most of the time, this is going to have to do with the resources that you have on hand, the money that you can spend in terms of outsourcing to someone, or it has to do with some beliefs around money and outsourcing to people. So from what I've seen, some school communities owners just don't have the money to outsource, in which case, like, that's totally understood. You can go the automations route. There are still costs with that. It's going to be cheaper than human labor, especially like premium human labor. So that's for sure, but you can still, again, outsource to like automations. There are all sorts of like school plugins that can help you out. Again, not the point of this video because like that's a whole other video, like tools to use for school, but that is an option that you have. But in some cases, school community owners have the money to invest. They just choose not to because they think they're saving money. And the fact of the matter is you're not actually saving money. You're actually harming your chances of scaling, of expansion. Yes, you can do this solo and not have the costs of having any kind of strategic or administrative help, but that's going to come at the cost of expansion and growth. You can only go so far with a premium service on Skool working alone. At some point, as I've stated before, either the marketing is going to give, or you actually, your level of, the quality in which you can deliver your promise is going to give. But ultimately, on a long enough time frame, it is the marketing that's going to give. And if that gives, well, no new members join and no new money is made. The last reason, the fifth reason, is, and it's a rare reason, which is that people, the school community owners that is, actually enjoy delivering on their service, maybe more so than the marketing. Again, this is rare because most school community owners that I work with view the administrative and strategic work as like kind of a headache, right? They don't like doing it, but in some very rare cases, some people actually like delivering on the premium features. They like being the call hosts. They like doing the onboarding. They like, handling all the admin stuff. Very rare, but it's possible. At which case you probably need to reassess your priorities. Do you even want to market in the first place? Is marketing outsourceable at all for you? That's something that you would need to ask yourself if you find yourself under those circumstances. As I pointed out, this is a very rare reason. And truth be told, if you're an educational content creator, well, you are the brand, you are the marketing, at least at the start. So you can't really switch up on the marketing like that, or else you lose the marketing altogether. But again, not a very popular reason for why people find themselves in the situation that we've been talking about in this video. If you're stuck in this delivery trap and want to free up your time so that you can spend it on marketing and growing your group instead of working in it, I provide strategic and management operations services on Skool. If that sounds at all interesting to you and you're open to it, book a free call with me. We'll talk about your Skool community situation and go from there. The link is in the description below. So in today's video, we're going to talk about a case study of the YouTuber Kal Ram. And so for context, Kal is a educational YouTube content creator. He makes those videos, and those videos market his Skool community. I've been helping Kal for 3 years now, so quite a long time. We've done many things together on Skool. We've learned quite a lot of things on Skool as well. The reason I wanted to highlight Kal in this video was for his proactivity. And here's what I mean by that. So even before Kal made a Skool group in the first place, even before we started working together on Skool, he knew that he needed help when it came time to running his Skool community business. And because Kal has outsourced since day one of starting his Skool community, that has, and I'm not exaggerating, saved him years. Because if Kal had done this all alone by himself from the start, he would have absolutely hit a growth ceiling at some point. He would have not had the successes that he's had on Skool with help alone. That's for sure. Would he have made some progress? Certainly. But would he be at where he's at today? 6-figure Skool business, won the Skool games. I doubt that you can do that alone. And the fact of the matter is that most of the top performing Skool communities have teams. They're not doing it alone. It happens, but it only happens for, low ticket, not premium offers where you need a high amount of marketing volume in order to send it to a very inexpensive membership that's usually just courses. And that's how you can scale that to the moon alone. But if you have like a premium $99 per month service plus, then you're going to need a team. You can't do it alone. Think about the absolute dream that Kal is living. All he has to do is make the YouTube videos, send them to a Skool group, and that's it. He just gets to market. He just gets to make the YouTube videos. He just gets to flex that muscle, that skill of making YouTube videos that he's so good at and that he wants to get better at. He doesn't have to waste his time or concern himself with delivering within the Skool group as well, which takes a lot of time, if not the exact same amount of time it takes to market in the first place. So if he's spending 40 hours a week marketing, he sure as hell wouldn't want to be spending another 40 hours per week actually delivering on the services inside of his community. And so the test to see that this actually worked, that he's actually decoupled himself from delivering in his Skool community versus marketing it, the test is that if Kal can leave for hours, days, weeks, and nothing changes about his Skool community, it still runs smoothly, then he has successfully decoupled himself from delivering inside of it. And so there are many examples of this happening. So Kal, he was in the army, and so he had to, on multiple occasions, every few months or so, go to do military trainings on the weekends, right? And then on those weekends, where he has like zero internet connection to Skool, his community, nothing changed. It was just the same, it was the same goings on in the community as per the usual. And even in serious events where he had to do like summer training on base for, 3 weeks a month, again, nothing changed in the community. A very important distinction to make is that Kal did not just hire a Skool admin. Okay. And so I'm going to break this down. There is a difference, right? You might not even heard of this term, this title within Skool communities. It comes by different names: community builder, Skool operator, but ultimately it sort of encompasses the same kind of role. And I'm going to explain that to you. So Kal didn't just hire an admin or a moderator. An admin or a moderator are definitely helpful roles to have inside of your community. They are going to save you time. They can handle refunds. They can moderate. They could, delete bad posts. They can message members. They might even be able to host a call here and there. But ultimately, the scope of what they can do and how they can help you is very limited compared to the other option that Kal decided to choose. Kal had chosen a Skool operator, a Skool community builder, whatever you want to call it. Essentially, this is a level up from being an admin or a moderator. This is someone who can be a strategic aid, right? Someone who can give you the Skool strategy based on the many years of experience that they've had on the platform, right? This is someone who can also do the admin work for you. So just one person who can do it all: the admin work, the moderation work, the strategic work. So very premium, but also very helpful and saves dozens upon dozens of hours per week in terms of being able to help you free up your time to market your school community and grow it. I think the easiest way to understand the distinction between these two roles, an admin or a moderator versus a community builder or a school operator, is the fact that you can leave a school operator be and the group is going to thrive. It might even get better. And this is a role, this is a person that can actually help you strategize, who can be a consultant, a school community strategic coach, if you will. They tell you what to do, right? They'll answer your questions, right? Based on the wealth of experience that they have on the platform, versus a school community admin or mod, which you have to tell them what to do. They're not necessarily a source of wisdom when it comes to their experience on Skool. They're just there to moderate, delete posts, handle refunds, very technical stuff, right? Not necessarily the most creative or strategic role. And this may be more important than you think, than you're giving it credit for right now. Because the fact of the matter is the vast majority of educational content creators on Skool are first-time business owners in general, but definitely first-time schoolers, right? So they don't have very much experience when it comes to running a subscription-based community model. And so you might start off your group thinking that it's all easy, but the fact of the matter is there's many things at play that require, sometimes months, years of experience to understand how these things work. Retention, churn, activation, onboarding, engagement, all these kinds of things that would take you months or years to learn. Like, you don't have to spend months or years. You can just outsource to a school operator, a school community builder, and they already have those years behind them. So they can serve as a very, very good consultant with regards to those kinds of strategic decisions that have to be made when you're running a school community business. And so the question becomes, how do you hire for this talent? Because that's what it is. This isn't just a role where someone is just doing technical stuff that doesn't involve any kind of skill or strategy or creative understanding or wealth of knowledge when it comes to the Skool platform. Like, where do you find this kind of talent? Well, if you own a school group, it's likely that you have people reaching out to you, trying to pitch their services to you. Like, they might reach out to your support email on the platform. They might reach out to you via your social platforms and be like, hey, saw that you're running a school. I could help you run one of these. But oftentimes I've noticed, and I've spoken with some of these people, right? These people have come to me asking for advice in terms of how they can start working with creators on Skool. The problem with these people who reach out to you cold, who you don't know, is that they oftentimes don't have any experience from what I've seen. I've seen the messages they send out. I run community support emails and have these messages reach out to us, and they oftentimes have no experience behind them. Like, it's unclear whether they can actually fulfill their promise, right? That they actually have any kind of experience. That's one thing. I would caution you against working with people like that, especially like from the get-go. You definitely want to vet, see if they have experience, see if they have multiple years under their belt on Skool and that they know what they're talking about, that they have accolades in the form of helping people win the school games, that kind of thing. That shows that they know how to run a school group. But if you're seeing none of that, that's a red flag. Probably don't do that, right? Don't waste your money there. Alternatively is you look within your own community. So oftentimes very passionate members who are highly engaged are going to want to help you out. But again, you encounter the same problem where they might not have a lot of time on problem, many years of experience on the Skool platform itself. And so these people might be able to be trained up to do things like admin or moderation work, which doesn't require a lot of creative or strategic skills or an understanding of how Skool works to a huge degree, but that's all really they can amount to, is just like a moderator or an admin, which is helpful and is a great start. But ultimately, you're going to want to get your hands on, again, a school community operator or a school community builder, whatever you prefer to call it. If you're looking to stop doing everything by yourself and have a school community operator help you strategize and scale and grow your school community while also handling all the admin stuff for you as well, so that you have all your free time to market your community to your heart's content, then you might consider checking out the link in the description below. We'll talk about your school community situation, figure out where it is that you want to be, where you want to go, how much time you want freed up. So if that sounds interesting to you, again, there's the link in the description for that. Book a call and we'll talk soon.